My ice maker is broken, so I've just been cold whisking my matcha, and then the matcha looks so sad because it's just like halfway. It's not that big of a deal though because I can cold whisk. I think if I was still drinking coffee, it would be absolutely a big deal because the espresso would need to cool down. It would be a mess, but I think they're gonna fix it today. It was so random. I was literally like using it and the ice just started to slow down, stopped working. Anyway, I think they'll fix it today. Also, if you hear any noise, they're doing gardening outside, which is honestly, why is it like making me happy? They're gardening more because it's spring, so that noise, not even bothering me. Strawberries being buy one, get one free again in the store, I feel like that's the biggest spring indicator to me. I don't even care what the calendars say. Once strawberries are buy one, get one free in the store, happy spring. I've been in such a good mood lately. I'm kind of low-key just waiting for it to stop. Enjoying it while it's here, but I know myself. It doesn't usually last. I've been reading Sunburn. I don't even know where it is. I think it's in the living room. I've been reading Sunburn, and it is so good. I have so much to say about it already. I'm only like 100 pages in, which actually is pretty far in because it's not that long of a book. But I have things to say. Okay, I went to go get it. Basically, the first page of this book, like, look at, that's kind of crazy. I annotated so much of it, but the first paragraph specifically just describes how I feel about summer so well. So it starts out, and it's June 1989, and it says, "Now is the time between birth and slaughter. Another summer has arrived. I spend my days waiting for something to happen, something glorious, even something tragic. Nothing ever happens." If that is not summer, I don't know what is. That's my summer anyway. But yeah, I just love this entire first page. Clearly, I love when a book draws me in like this. At the beginning of it, she talked about her relationship with her mom, and she's 15 in the beginning. And I just feel like I love reading books that make me understand my mother more. I think growing up, we had kind of a complicated relationship in the way that it's like we love each other and the bond is unbreakable, but I feel like we also know nothing about each other and we don't really understand each other and we're from two different worlds, but like it's you and me forever, girl. I feel like sometimes a relationship, well, obviously everyone's different. My relationship with my mother anyway, it can feel so complicated. It's just like I don't even understand it myself. And so I love reading books where I think it gives me more perspective on maybe what my mother was experiencing and how she was thinking of me growing up. Like the same way I'm like, I don't even understand her, she probably doesn't understand me either. It's all good. I also really love the way that she's talking about this small town that she lives in. She lives in like the Irish countryside. It reminds me so much of home, her descriptions of it and the people. I'm just like, home? Yeah, it just reminds me so much of home, and I feel that. There are parts of this though, I mean, they are growing up as the book goes on, but there are parts of this I'm like, you're 15, you're 16, you're 17 when you said that, like that's insane. Actually, before I move on to that, there's this part where she was talking about her mother. She was like, "Now that I'm getting older, it doesn't matter whether I'm right next to her or out of sight. I'm heavy in the air. I am something always on her mind. She cannot be without me, even when she's dying to be. Maybe I deserve it, maybe not." I think living in a different country from my mother for 9 years? I don't even, 9 years? Oh my God. I hate that. Living in a different country from my mom for 9 years now. I felt that paragraph. It sat with me. So these are two quotes that I was like, oh my God, you're thinking like this at 17 years old. I don't even know what I was thinking about at 17 years old, but I would never, it wasn't this, or maybe I just didn't love anyone. But one of the things she says, "My heart lurches as if it wants to leave my awful body and go make a home in her." How are you already thinking like this at 17? I didn't feel that way about anyone or anything at 17. Another thing she says, "When she's close to happiness, I don't mind being a casualty." Basically, they have this, they're good friends, and they have this like, I didn't even say what this is about. I'm so sorry. Okay, so Sunburn is a book about Lucy who lives in Crossmore Island in the 1990s, and she is kind of going through her life thinking about all her expectations as a young woman, as a young girl, as a young woman. She's meant to like grow up and be just like her mom and get married and take care of the home and have a husband who works on the farm and all of that. She just kind of feels like that's her path and those are her expectations. But she ends up falling in love with one of her best friends, Susanna, obviously another girl. We see how much she becomes obsessed with her, and it's also something she's struggling with because she's like, I'm supposed to be with Martin. Martin is one of her neighbors and one of her really close friends that she's known all of her life, and like everyone kind of expects her and Martin to be together, and it's just an expectation. Her parents, his parents, all of their friends, they're like, yeah, they're definitely gonna be together, they're definitely gonna get married. But she can't even deal with any of that because she's in love with Susanna. Basically, what I was gonna say is that there's a lot of talk of like their friend group as well. They have a whole group of friends, a bunch of girls, and sometimes Susanna is like kind of mean to her and catty and stuff. It's like they're in high school, it's ages 15, and we're up to when they're 18. Well, we're up to when they're 17 now, and she's gonna turn 18 soon. And so we're seeing a lot of their life and this younger part of it. Sometimes Susanna is like mean to her, and so that's why she says when she's close to happiness, I don't mind being a casualty. And I'm just like, you're 17. Again, I had no thoughts like that at 17, or I just didn't have anyone who evoked that much emotion. Anyway, I'm really loving it so far because the writing is amazing, and I think that's why I forgot to tell you what it's even about, because I just wanted to talk about the writing. And I just wanted to talk about how Lucy expresses her feelings for Susanna, because I feel like she does it in such an amazing way. So, loving this so far. Me being so excited for spring and completely forgetting about allergies. Kind of forgot I had those. I've been sneezing a lot today, but it's fine. It's all good. In my last vlog, I read No Matter What by Cara Stone, and Cara Stone has this like lasting effect on me. I don't know what it is about her and her books, but I always just think about them so much after I'm done with them. Promise Me Sunshine last year was a book that I think I read in May, and then I thought about it all the way like through fall. I couldn't stop thinking about it, and even when I was like in a book slump, it was the one book that I was just like, I remember I enjoyed that one so much. And now with No Matter What, it happened again. Like I keep thinking about it even though I've been done with it for almost a week now. One of the last scenes in the bar, if you've read it, you would know the last scene in the bar. I actually went back to reread that scene. It was such a good moment of like, finally, these people are really understanding each other. Anyway, this vlog is not about that book because I read that book in my last vlog, but I really liked it. I keep thinking that I should raise the rating. I rated it 4 stars. I know it's not 5 stars, so I'm probably gonna rate it like 4.5 instead, but yeah, random thought because I keep randomly thinking about it. But on to the book that I'm actually reading, Sunburn. We're getting to this like heartbreaking part of the book where she is really struggling with her sexuality and feeling shame and just feeling like what she's doing is wrong and who she chooses to love is wrong. And she's also having to confront the fact that the people in her life, her family, would not accept her. And yeah, that all of that is just very heartbreaking to read. And being in her perspective and seeing her go through it, it's just like, I just want to hug her. I'm so glad that I didn't wait for summer to read this book, because this book just looks so very summer to me. And I was just like, I'll read it in this month anyway, because I feel like we're gonna get some good hot days, which we have been getting. But I feel like it really doesn't even matter that much, because even though I know I would have really enjoyed this in the summer and it would have just fit very well, it still goes through all of the seasons. There's such perfect descriptions of literally every season, and even like winter turning into spring, there's been some really great descriptions of that, which is literally what I'm experiencing right now. And like, we go through March. We've gone through March twice already in the book. We'll probably see more of them in March in the future. And so yeah, it feels fitting and right, because it's hot out there and there's some really great descriptions of spring. So yeah, I'm glad I didn't wait to read it. I told myself this year I wasn't going to do that anymore. Like, if I want to read a book, just read it and not wait for the perfect moment, because what even is the perfect moment? And honestly, it would be stupid to wait for summer anyway, because it just rains all summer here. So yeah, this is going well. I'm gonna continue reading it and go to sleep. I'm going to the library right now because I need to go print some stuff, just some boring documents. But I'm actually gonna check out some books today. Sometimes I don't have the intentions of checking out books when I go to the library, because I'm just like, I don't know when I'm gonna get those back to you. And even though there isn't a late fee, I don't want to abuse the system. So I just don't bother checking anything out, because I'm like, I don't know when I'm coming back. But I actually am really in the mood to do some browsing and check out some books, see if there's anything that I like. I also made myself a spring bucket list, so maybe we'll print that out too. It's very simple. It's nothing crazy at all. Very simple things that I just felt like feels like spring and would be fun to do in the spring. I've got 10 things on the list. One of them is visit a museum. I feel like there's so many museums downtown. I haven't really explored them yet. I love going to museums, art museums. There's one called Gibbs Museum of Art. I think specifically that one I want to go check out. Second, I have beach day before it gets unbearably hot. Obviously the water is still freezing cold. Even the pool, the water is absolutely freezing. And so I would like avoid the beach, because I'm like, it's not time yet, it's not time yet. And then when it's unbearably hot, I'm like, it's too hot to be out there. So I actually want to go to the beach before it gets too miserable. Even if the water is going to be cold, I need to just suck it up. Just go to the beach, it's fine. I want to make a gallery wall above my couch. I feel like I've chosen pictures for this 5 different times and I've changed my mind so many times, and then I just never end up doing a gallery wall. But I think that would be cute. I just need to pick the pictures and go print them out and get the frames. It's really not, actually, now that I say all of that, I was about to say it's really not that big of a task, but now that I say all that, I'm like, but I'm gonna do it this spring. I want to bake carrot cake cupcakes. I love carrot cake, but I feel like I don't need a whole cake. Maybe I can find a recipe where I could just make a few cupcakes and that would be perfect. Read Tom Lake by Anne Patchett. If you know the cover of this book, it's just so spring and I feel like it's the perfect season for that. I've also heard such good things about the audiobook. Meryl Streep apparently is the person that narrates it, which is just iconic. So I want to read that. Maybe listen along while I read. I also want to read Little Women and watch the movie, the version with Florence Pugh, Timothée Chalamet. I just feel like, I don't know, that just feels spring to me. And the movie looks really good. I've always wanted to watch it. I remember reading Little Women in school, but like, this is so weird, like in primary school. I remember reading it, but I don't actually remember anything about it. So yeah, definitely want to do a reread when it's not required reading for school. I think it would be really fun. And then I can watch the movie after. Another movie that I want to watch is The Princess Diaries. Why is this spring to me? I couldn't tell you. It just felt right. I haven't seen that movie in so long, and it's just, I don't know. It's just such a fun childhood movie that brings back great memories. So I just put that on there as well. I want to watch The Princess Diaries. I don't know. I want to do a spring puzzle. Honestly, it doesn't really have to be spring-like. Maybe something with flowers, with a bunny, something, I don't know. Just a puzzle that gives spring vibes. But I love doing puzzles. They're so much fun, and I haven't done one in a really, really long time. Make spring mocktails. Spring cocktails, they always look so pretty, but just without the alcohol. And lastly, I want to get like a watercolor workbook and start trying to learn how to paint a little bit. I just feel like that would be fun and something to like do with my hands when I'm not busy or when I'm not on my phone or something. I feel like I want to try new hobbies, but also I don't want to try hobbies that require buying a whole bunch of things to just start. The only thing I plan on buying for this watercolor thing is just the workbook and the little paint set. And that's decent for me because I don't know how I'm actually gonna feel about it. I don't know if I'm gonna love it. That's my thing about hobbies. Like, I'm scared to buy all these things for it, and then I'm like, I don't even like doing this. I don't even enjoy this. So yeah, I feel like that would be a nice start. Ease myself into it, and I don't have to spend too much money. But yeah, that's my spring bucket list. Spring starts March 20th and June 20th. I think I could get all these things done in that amount of time. And I feel like printing it out is gonna make me like, maybe print it out, put it on my fridge so I can remember all the things I said I wanted to do. When I'm bored, I can just pick one and do it. So yeah. I was gonna try to stay at the library and finish my book, but I got a little hungry. I need a snack, so I'm back home. But I did get all of the books that I wanted. I mean, I didn't really go there specifically for anything, but I'm just glad that I got things that I'm really interested in. Also printed everything that I needed to print. The printer there, I felt so stupid. It kept like taking my money, reversing it, and not printing my things, and I had to ask them like 3 different times because I was printing like 34 pages for one document and then 3 pages for a different one, and then I printed my bucket list thing, and it's just like, I'm so sorry to bother you. They were very nice about it though. Anyway, this is my haul. Basically, these 2 books, I have seen these books in bookstores and almost bought them and then didn't. This one, The Singer Sisters, I know that this is about, this says Singer Sisters, but I could have sworn it's about a mother and a daughter who both are musicians, and there's like a complicated relationship there, or like there's secrets in the family or something like that. I know it's about music and like family dynamics. That's what I remember reading, but sisters, we'll see. Maybe I'm completely wrong there, but it would be a family dynamic nonetheless. And so I almost bought this once in Barnes, didn't, and I can read it for free if I like it. Maybe I'll want to own it, I don't know, but got that. And this is the same situation. This one was more recent though. This one was like in my most recent book shopping video, I think for Valentine's Day. I almost bought this. It's called You and Me and You and Me and You and Me. There's something about a mixtape and time travel to when he gave Jules the mixtape. So I'm guessing there's a little bit of magical realism in there, which I quite enjoy, so I'll see how I feel about this one. It's a Love Story by Annabelle Monaghan. I don't know how I feel about this author completely. I really, really, really love summer romance, and I really hated, I don't remember the name of the book, the first one that I read by her. I'm gonna put it on the screen because I don't remember the name of it, and I've only ever read 2 books by this author, and it's like, really hated one of them, really loved one of them. So I don't really know how I feel. And so when this book came out last year, I didn't jump at the opportunity right away to read it because, I don't know, Nora goes off script. That one, hate that one. I have also heard mixed reviews about this one. So I'm unsure about this, still kind of curious about it though, so I'll see how I feel about this one. I also got We Could Be Rats by Emily Austen in February. Was it February or was it January? I can't remember. I read Everyone in This Room Will Someday Be Dead by Emily Austen, and I really loved that. I loved her writing, and I knew that I wanted to read more books by her, so when I saw this, I just immediately picked it up. So we've got 4 books that I'm really interested in. I don't know if I'm going to get to all of them before the deadlines, although I can renew and stuff. But if you would like to see a reading vlog of any of these, maybe I'll do a reading vlog of all of them. I'm just looking at when these are due, and I just realized only this one, because it's considered new, will be due in 2 weeks, and the others I have a month. So now I know to read this one first, and then I can give it back, and I have time to get to the others. I always just thought any book that you borrowed from my library was 2 weeks, and then you could renew it if no one has requested it. But yeah, I didn't realize it was a whole month you get with them, as long as they're not new releases, because the new releases are always a little bit more in demand. It's kind of crazy. I printed it out, and this goes on the fridge so I can remember that I made it. I'm having a yogurt bowl for lunch. I don't know, I think this is an unpopular opinion, but I prefer a yogurt bowl for lunch over breakfast. I don't know what it is. I don't like a yogurt bowl in the morning. I got this new phone case. It's literally the same as the one that I previously had, but I got this one in fall, and I feel like that really suited the vibe. This burgundy, this like really dark color. Then I got this one for spring and summer. It's basically the same thing. Very close to each other, but I just really love orange right now. I'm hyper fixated on the color orange. The idea of having a favorite color makes me feel young again. It's like no one cares what your favorite color is anymore once you get older. Why is no one asking me what my favorite color is? But I just remember like growing up, knowing someone's favorite color, like that's something that you would always ask. The only people that still care about their favorite colors as they grow up are people who love purple, because people who love purple, and my sister is one of them, they're so intense about that. They have purple everything and they don't grow out of it either. Anyway, I love orange right now. I just have random bursts of like hyper fixations on colors. Although pink never goes out of style for me. I love pink. It's so cute and pretty and fun. I had a moment there with blue. I'm over it. I'm on to orange now. Basically, I was looking for a new wallpaper for my phone, and I saw this orange one, and I also really like yellow right now too. My home screen, I made this yellow polka dot, and I just was finding so many different wallpapers of like really bold and bright colors, and for some reason I've always been a pastel kind of person, but now I'm very into really bright, bold colors. It's just, I don't know, it just brightens up everything. And I could obviously only choose one wallpaper, so I made them all of my playlist covers on Spotify because I just want to look at them. They're very pretty. I finished Sunburn, and basically from where I left off, we just continued watching them love each other so deeply in such an intense manner, but they're unable to be together, and that causes so much tension because Susanna is so much more free and she is willing to be open about who she is, And Lucy just can't do that. She feels like she's gonna lose everything, and she's not willing to do that. It was obviously a different time, and she felt like she was going to lose everything and everyone in her life, so she just couldn't. And it just progressively gets so sad for everyone involved, including Martin. I mentioned this already, but this book just continued to remind me so much about how I feel about home. There was this one quote towards the end where she's returning home and she's like, "My sweet wasteland, all you ever really did was hold me back." I feel like this book made me want to go home for the first time in 7 years, but I won't. The final chapter of this book is also in March. I don't know if it's because I'm currently in March, but I feel like the parts in March just stick out to me the most. Like, there are lots of bits of it that's in March. It does go through many months and over the years, but I don't know, I feel like March was mentioned a lot, so I feel like I read it at the perfect time. Apart from the obvious themes in this book, there was so much on the transition from a young girl to a woman, and it was so painful to read and so beautiful because obviously I can relate to that. I was once a young girl and now I'm a woman, and it's just like, I don't know, I guess that's nostalgia, like painful but beautiful at the same time. This is an easy 5-star for me, honestly. When I finished this book, I was immediately texting people to go read it. Like, one of my friends, I just know she would love this so much. I'm like, you need to read this. Before I could even log that I finished it on Goodreads or anything, I was just like, you need to read this. And the friend that recommended me this book, I had to text her as well and be like, you just give me bangers after bangers. She's the same person that recommended Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow to me, and I loved that book, loved this book. It's always so nice to get recommendations from people who know you very well, because it's like a guaranteed good time. I mean, emotional time, but you know what I mean. You can enjoy a book and still be sad about it and emotional about it, but yeah. Honestly, when I think about the 2 books that she's recommended to me, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, and this, if you've read these 2 books, you would know. Really, really sad time, emotional time, but such a good time, and I love the writing in both of these books, and I'm just gonna need her to always recommend books to me, because clearly she's got it. She reads a lot slower than I do. Like, she would read 1 book maybe every 2 months, but every book she's reading seems to be a banger, so good for her, honestly. I'm actually gonna read Pride and Prejudice next. I'm gonna start this tonight before I go to sleep. I'm really excited. I've heard such great things. Obviously, it's Pride and Prejudice. It's a classic. Everyone loves this. It's like, I just feel like this is a lot of people's favorites that I know. And even when I mention it in my videos, people comment that I should read it. So I think I'm gonna love it too. I'm excited, and I'm gonna start tonight.
Season is underway. The Tournament, the pre-season favourite, begins with a win. George Russell wins the Australia Grand Prix. It's a Mercedes 1-2 in a season opener for the first time since 2019.
I woke up this morning to a headache, a very mild headache, but it was still like there and I could feel it. And I'm pretty sure it was because of my allergies. Like, the thing is, I don't know if you can get headaches from allergies, but I know that I could get headaches because of how my eyes feel. I can always tell when a headache is because of my eyes, and my eyes, I woke up just feeling like they felt so heavy and drowsy, and I know that that's because of allergies. So I'm guessing it's just this whole chain reaction, but it's gone now. I went on the treadmill, did my walk, and I feel better, but allergies are kind of getting me this year. I need to get something for that. I need to get something over the counter. Honestly, I've never in my life had over the counter medicine from the US. In the 9 years that I've lived here, I've just always had the stuff that my parents bring me from back home when they visit, and I don't have that anymore, so I don't even know what I should go and buy, what I should be looking for, but I gotta figure that out because I need something for these allergies. Last night I only read 28 pages of Pride and Prejudice, so I don't really have anything to say. The only thing I'm thinking is, when I think about classics, I always assume that it's going to be a lot of prose for some reason and not a lot of dialogue, or not like balanced. And I do love a balanced book. It's like some prose, some dialogue, but I always expect it to be more prose than anything. And this book has a lot of dialogue so far in the 28 pages that I've read, so that was like a pleasant surprise. It also just doesn't feel as it doesn't feel as old as when I read Wuthering Heights. I mean, I don't know the years when these books were written. I don't know all the history, but yeah, it doesn't me saying it doesn't feel as old, you get what I mean. Not doing well. The pool is closing today. No, the pool is closing tomorrow. They sent us an email that they're doing some renovations. I'm like, why wouldn't you do the renovations in January so it would be ready for now? And also, the people who are working on said renovations, they could have been doing the hard work in the cool air. That makes so much sense. Now the people are gonna be out there working in this extreme heat, because yesterday was 85 degrees and it felt like 86. So now they're gonna have to be working, doing construction in that extreme weather, and we also can't lay out and go swimming. Why wouldn't you do it in January? Anyway, but now it's going to be closed for a month, or like till the end of March or something like that. Basically, not having another pool day until April. So I'm gonna go enjoy it today because it closes tomorrow, or the renovations start tomorrow, whatever. Am I okay? I don't think I'm okay. Waking up with a mild headache and my eyes feeling like they're about to pop out of my sockets. It's all good. It's all good now. Maybe it's actually a good thing that the pool is closing, because I think the pollen out there was actually trying to kill me. I came back up here and I just took a damp, cold cloth, held it to my eyes. It helped me. I was just struggling a little bit, so came back. Also wanted to eat. Anyway, I don't feel like looking at words right now, so I'm going to color. I'm gonna color this one because I feel like that looks very spring. So I'm 148 pages into Pride and Prejudice, and basically this is a book set in the Regency era. It's about Elizabeth Bennet and Mr. Darcy. Elizabeth Bennet and her family is of lower class, and Mr. Darcy is like so concerned with his attraction to her because he is rich, of the higher class, and so that causes like a problem between them. Elizabeth doesn't like him because she thinks he's so rude and just out of order. Kind of her entire family doesn't really like him, so I'm so curious how that's going to all come around and how he's going to end up with her anyway. I'm pretty sure this book is going to go on into discussing societal standards and the different social classes, but for right now, pretty much all I've read is them yapping and going to balls. I feel like the back of this book, it literally says, with its light and bright and sparkling dialogue. Like, that's the first line. And yeah, there's a lot of dialogue, because I feel like all they're doing is sitting around talking and going to balls. I'm really curious about where it's going and how Mr. Darcy is going to win her and her entire family over. And I think it's also going to discuss like marrying for love versus money or social status and stuff like that. And I am curious about all of that, but for right now I'm kind of not really into it. And every time I try to read it before bed, I just end up falling asleep. I get most of my reading done before bed. Unless I fall asleep, then I'm not really reading anything. I'm like reading it so slowly, a couple pages at a time, and yeah, I think I just have to be real with myself. This is just not what I'm in the mood for right now, but I'm still very curious about it, and maybe I'll try to finish it by the end of the month. I also really want to watch the movie, so I would like to finish it before I do that, but I can't lie, I'm not that interested in the actual story and what's actually going on. I do quite like the writing of it though. I mean, that's why it's a classic, right? It's a lot more digestible than I expected it to be. I think sometimes classics can feel so dense sometimes, and I don't really feel that way about this one. I just don't really find it interesting, like, at all. I'm so sorry. I know so many of you love this. But yeah, I'm taking a break from this, softy enough, whatever you want to call it. I do still want to finish it sometime this month because it's on my March TBR, but I am not into it right now. I'm kind of in the mood for contemporary romance. I just feel like for a while there, I was absolutely hating on romance books, and I'm done with that now. I'm back to loving them. I'm in the mood to read them again. I feel like I should read them while this lasts. Honestly, I feel like it's been a thing right now. A lot of us haven't been in the mood. Maybe too many of them like feel the same, and I think for me, taking a break from it for a little bit, because when I think about January, I don't even know if I read any contemporary romance in January. I know definitely February I picked back up on it because of Valentine's Day, but I didn't really enjoy them until like the end of February, early March. But yeah, I'm in the mood for it. So I'm going to start In Your Dreams by Sarah Adams before I go to bed, because this is on my 2026 TBR, and it's also the last book in a series. It's always nice to finish a series. I also think this might be the only book on my physical TBR right now that's contemporary romance, so it's what I've got. So I hope I enjoy it. Kind of sad that this series is ending. I loved this series, the When in Rome series. It's very cliche and it's just so classic rom-com, but I think I know what to expect when I'm going into these. Nothing too serious, maybe a little bit of cheesiness. I don't know, it always just hits the spot for me, and I hope this one doesn't disappoint. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot that this sister existed because this whole series is about siblings. The first book was about the brother. I don't think he's the oldest, but he's the only brother, and then the second book was about one of the other sisters, Annie. The third book was about the oldest sibling and the oldest sister and sibling in general, Emily. And then Madison, again, I don't even know if she's the youngest or if Annie's the youngest. Kind of don't remember. But I kind of always forget that Madison even exists. But yeah, this is her book. The reason why it's so easy to forget that she exists is because she lived in New York for the other 3 books, and she was going to culinary school, but she's kind of failing. Well, I don't know if she's failing culinary school, but she just doesn't really love New York anymore and she wants to move back home. It's like the city's tough for her, and so she's gonna come back home, but she feels like such a failure coming back home. I feel like anyone who's moved away from a small town knows that feeling, like moving back home. It always feels like accepting defeat. I don't know. It's such a bad mindset to have, but yeah. The male main character of this book is actually opening a restaurant, and she's going home to work on that restaurant, and she's known him for a long time. He's her brother's best friend. So yeah, they all just have history and they're all connected, and I love that about a little interconnected standalone series, and especially when it's like in a small town. Yeah, that's always my favorite part of it, seeing everyone connect and come together, especially when it's the last book. So I hope this one doesn't disappoint. I'm gonna start tonight and then go to sleep. Maybe it's a complete coincidence, but I feel like every time I read a book from this series, it's at a moment where another book is disappointing me or another genre is disappointing me, and I just feel like I need a classic rom-com, just need something new and fresh and fun, and then a book from this series comes along, it's just the perfect thing. It's just always what I need in that moment, and that's why I have so much fun with them. The yearning in this one is just absolutely impeccable. The way that James liked her for so long and she had no idea, and even now as she's kind of figuring it out and putting the pieces together, it still just had so much other things going on with their restaurant and their families and the community, so it's still allowed for it to be quite a slow burn, but not like unnecessarily slow. It was just, I think the pacing was perfect. You know what's another thing I loved about this? As I mentioned, it's brother's best friend, and I love that the brother didn't care. The brother was just like, she can date whoever she wants. And I just feel like I read a lot of books where the trope is brother's best friend, and I think it adds to this like forbidden element of it, and I always like that part, but I always low-key hate the way that the brothers actually react. My favorite type of brother's best friend trope is when they think that the brother's not gonna be down for it, and so they're like hiding it and it's forbidden, and like that adds to the tension. So that's why it's always been amusing. But I love when they actually tell the brother, and the brother's just like, okay, like I don't really care. You're an adult because you are an adult. Make your own choices. I don't have a brother though, so maybe I just don't get it. But why do the brothers always get so upset? And then I think about the fact that men in general, they have friends and their friendships are so weird. Like they keep guys around that are horrible. Like, this guy is not good enough to date your sister. Why are you friends with him? Why do you keep him around? But anyway, I love that her brother did not care, was not controlling. Also, her brother knows that James is a good enough person to date her sister. Loved it. A random thing, Amelia, who is the female main character of the first book in this series, she has been on a journey to make the perfect pancakes throughout this entire series, and I love that it was mentioned and it was stretched all the way to the last book. It just felt like such a full circle moment. I love them, and I love the way that the community is so involved with every single book and every single couple. It's one of those like small towns, everyone's nosy type of thing, but like in a wholesome way. They just care about you so much, so they need to know everything that's going on. I think this is the perfect ending, and I'm giving this one 4.5 stars. If you got to this point in the video, comment a rainbow emoji. Thanks so much for watching. Give it a like, subscribe for more if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon. Bye!